A lot of people were surprised as to why Lando Norris was getting booed following his Mexico City Grand Prix win, and an explanation has now been offered. Mexican F1 journalist Carlos Jalife from Fast Mag explained to Norris himself during the press conference that it dates back to the Italian Grand Prix and McLaren's team orders during that race. Norris claimed his 6th win of the season on Sunday to take the championship lead, winning the race by over half a minute, the biggest margin for any win this year. During his winner's interview, however, boos rang from the stands, catching many by surprise, including Norris himself. When the topic arose again during the post-race press conference, Jalife explained that on Fast Mag they ran a poll where the people voted that Norris was being given the championship by McLaren and that the just thing to do would be to give the 3 points back to Piastri from Monza. A perplexed Norris responded by saying the following. Quote, sure, if they want to think that, they certainly have the right to. They can think whatever they want. The same 2 years ago in Budapest when I could have won the race and had to let Oscar back through and let him win the race. He deserved to win. It was no different to that, really. To be honest, if you want to have the 3 points, they can, but they have the right to think whatever they want. Oscar deserved the win last year in Budapest. I deserve to be ahead in Monza. Simple as that. End quote. Speaking of explanations, the FIA have also released a statement to explain why a virtual safety car was deployed in the dying embers of the Mexico City Grand Prix. Both Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri were lining up overtakes in the last laps until the VSC took that opportunity away, as Carlos Sainz's broken down Williams needed to be cleared. Everything was shaping up for a grandstand finish, with Verstappen reeling in the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc for P2, also to give the Dutchman 3 vital points in his championship battle. Concurrently, Oscar Piastri was within DRS range of rookie Ollie Bearman, who was running in P4, which is when Carlos Sainz broke down in the stadium section. At first, only yellow flags were waved in the final sector, as the Spaniard had driven his Williams halfway up the escape road already, but with 2 laps to go, a VSC was deployed, much to the frustration of many fans. The FIA explained the decision post-race like this. Quote, Sainz's car came to a halt in an exposed position. The car subsequently began smoking and race control received notifications of fire, making it clear that marshal intervention would be required for recovery. As a standard procedure, when marshals are deployed to recover a car, the race is neutralized. In this case, a virtual safety car was triggered until the car was moved to a safe location behind the barriers. End quote. Verstappen was quizzed about if he was frustrated by the VSC, to which the Dutchman replied that this is simply part of racing and that a safety car or VSC can also sometimes win you a race. Well, as of yesterday, we've got a new championship leader with just 4 Grand Prix to go, as Lando Norris arguably took his most convincing and dominant win in his F1 career. Let's take a look at the full driver standings now then and get the full lowdown of what has changed and how things are shaping up for the final handful of races of this season. Lando Norris has now accumulated 357 points after taking his 6th win of the season, overtaking teammate Oscar Piastri despite being 34 points down on the Aussie after the Dutch Grand Prix less than 2 months ago. Piastri is just a single point behind Norris, while Max Verstappen is 36 points off Norris as he sits on 321. George Russell, Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton are still pretty firmly cemented in 4th, 5th and 6th place respectively, with Kimi Antonelli in 7th place on 97 points. Everyone from Alex Albon in 8th to Fernando Alonso in 12th failed to score points, so they stay as is, while Ollie Bearman has leapfrogged almost the entire midfield after his P4 finish, bringing him up from 18th to 13th in the standings. 2 points for Esteban Ocon steer him clear of Yuki Tsunoda, who finished 11th, while Franco Colapinto remains the sole active driver without any points. Do you think that's the last time the championship lead change hands in 2025? Or can either Piastri or even Max Verstappen come back to claim the title? Leave your predictions down below in the comments, but that's it for today's news video. I hope you enjoyed it and hopefully catch you next time. Bye-bye.